2 minutes. One minute.
Hello and welcome here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this final will be the best of 3 tiebreak sets. Matt Reid to the right of the chair won the toss and chose to receive.
Hello and welcome here to the 2011 Bendigo International
Time.
Men's Final with Matt Reid to begin serving here against Ben Mitchell, the number 1 seed, versus Matt Reid, obviously the number 3 seed here. We should be in for a great encounter. Lots of people in the crowd. Looking forward to this fantastic match.
First set, Ben Mitchell to serve. Ready, play. Out. Love 15. To the people at the back of the court, behind the fence, could you please keep your voices down? It is travelling onto the court. Thank you. Fault.
Fantastic rally there early on to start of
15
the
all.
first set. Ben Mitchell levelling it back up at 15 all here on serve.
$30-15. First serve. Fault.
Fantastic rally here once again.
15 all.
Seeing the strength of Matt Reid's powerful forehand, being able to force Ben Mitchell on the back
30 all.
throughout the course of that rally. However, with a lucky net cord also giving him that point.
40-30.
Great serve there by Ben Mitchell, giving him 40-30 and the point to go 1-love up here in this first set of the 2011 men's singles final for William.
Game. Mitchell.
Great serve there to finish it off.
First game.
Strong start here by Ben Mitchell, obviously having to work Matt Reid on the backhand more often than not, as Reid's forehand has certainly looked in good touch and very powerful here today.
Matt Reid to serve. $15-love.
Both players here favouring some long baseline rallies, allowing plenty of opportunities for each other
Fault.
to attempt to hit winners. Matt Reid's serving has been alright to start off so far. Very strong, very powerful.
$15-all.
Great long deep return there by Ben Mitchell, winning a point, getting to 15-all.
$30-15.
Terrific ace by Matt Reid there. Really shows the importance of being able to get that first serve in. Ben Mitchell's able to take advantage of that second serve opportunity before.
Fault. $40-15.
Terrific roll shot there once again. Looks like we could be in for a real game here today, folks, with both players looking right on top of their form.
Game. Reid.
Wide kick and serve there by Matt Reid for another.
One
ace.
game all.
Already notching up a few in this first service game of his. Now with leveling up at 1 game all with Ben Mitchell to serve. Terrific shot there by
15
Ben
love.
Mitchell. Working himself further in from the baseline, getting on that front foot and eventually hitting that winner there. Terrific. Once again,
30
game
love.
line. Take a 30-love commanding lead here in this game. That volley there, not
13-15.
And then again from Ben Mitchell. His backhand looking very strong and powerful today, whereas Matt Reid also probably not being as wild as what he has been previous with that backhand throughout the course of the week, knowing that it's going to take an absolute superb performance here to get over Ben Mitchell, the #1 seed.
$40-15.
Just wide going for that forehand winner. Cross court by Matt Reid. Just not able to land the ball in.
Game. Mitchell.
Yeah, strong service game there by Ben Mitchell.
Mitchell leads 2-1.
Up 2-1, and it really shows the importance here today of getting your first serves in, with both players certainly being able to take on a lot more of a front approach to the point then. Ben Ben Mitchell obviously having come through a few tough matches throughout the course of this tournament, beating Yana Ma 3-6, 6-1, 7-5 before Adam Feeney retiring hurt in his game where Ben Mitchell was leading 5-2 before getting over Jose Statham in an epic three-setter there, including 10-8 in the third. Matt Reid, the number 3 seed, having got through Alex Bolt 6-2, 7-6, and Dane Papagia the same scoreline, 6-2, 7-6. And when he saw that game, Dane Papagia certainly had a lot of opportunities, especially in that second set, leading 5-2 at one stage.
At 15 love. At 30 love. $40 love. Fold. Game. Reid.
Terrific cross court forehand winner there by Matt Reid.
2 games all.
These two have actually played doubles here together throughout the course of the week, so those would have been hitting partners and really know each other's game inside out, so it should be a fantastic contest here. Obviously 2-all now on serve.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love.
Good strong service game here by Ben Mitchell, up 40 love with 3 game points.
At game. Mitchell.
There we go. A few unforced errors there from Matt Reid, and I suppose that's something you
Mitchell leads 3 games to 2.
Get with him at various times throughout the course of this match. Big, powerful, strong hitting can either hit a lot of winners and also a lot of errors if he's not careful. Ben Mitchell, obviously last year's Wimbledon Juniors runner-up and slowly climbing through the tournament rankings. It's probably one of Australia's new bright hopes, turning professional and slowly climbing his ranking into the 200s, low 200s now. Matt Reid's also been overseas, playing over in Europe, winning tournaments in Serbia and Romania throughout the European summer. Slowly improving his game, will be certainly favoured for one of those wild card spots for the Australian Open, showing a lot of promise.
Well, at 15 love. fault.
Oh, yeah.
30 love.
Truly strong play
40
here
love.
by Matt Reid to take 40 love. Those powerful shots giving Ben Mitchell a little bit of trouble here, being able to hit them back over the net.
Game Reid.
There we go, once again, Matt Reid, big powerful serve.
3 games all.
Ben Mitchell's trying to take the pace off the ball as much as he can here, but Matt Reid not really even giving him the opportunity to do that. His shot selection has been absolutely perfect so far.
Net for serve.
Fantastic rally there by both players.
15 love.
And very smart play throughout the course of this tournament by both of these two, especially today, with Ben Mitchell realising that Matt Reid's nowhere near as strong on his backhand side, but Matt Reid able to counter that with the fact that he's slicing the backhand, bringing the speed down, slowly building up enough time to be able to switch to that forehand and go for the winner.
30 love. Forty love.
How was it? It's very close. You're right on. It's in the mark and tell whether it's just missing or not. It's right in front of him, so I have to go with his score.
40-15. Out. Game. Mitchell.
There we go.
Mitchell leads 4 games to 3.
Ben Mitchell there taking a 4-3 lead here in the half. And joined here in this William Loud 2011 Bendigo International, we have Rob Keogh from William Loud. How have you found the final so far, Rob?
It's a high quality game, Josh. I'll just Mitchell looks a little bit nervous, a little bit more rattled at the moment, to be honest. I would have thought he might have come out of the blocks firing a bit, but
Time.
looks like Reid might have taken the early initiative.
Yeah, it's certainly been a strong performance here by Matt Reid. He's certainly cut down on a lot of those unforced errors which I've seen throughout the course of the tournament here. Probably understanding Ben Mitchell's game as well is a tremendous advantage.
15 love. Love.
Certainly Reid's serving far more steadily than I would have expected, to be honest.
Yeah, well, at times he has had a lot of double faults throughout this tournament. But today he just seems to be on song and really up for this final here today.
Seems to have lifted himself, hasn't he?
30-15.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Matt Reid's ability as well to work Ben Mitchell on his backhand, which Mitchell seems to favour the forehand a slightly bit more, and even countering when Mitchell puts Reid on his backhand as well, which I think I've barely seen throughout the first few matches he played in this tournament, slowing the pace of the game down to be able to get back onto that forehand.
Certainly he's
14-15.
peppering that backhand, there's no doubt about it. He's really found a perceived weakness or otherwise there, no doubt about it.
Fault. Game. Reid.
Terrific winner there by Matt Reid.
4 games all.
Holding his serve fairly easy there. Ben Mitchell sort of looks to be trying everything at the moment to force Matt Reid on that backhand, which he's had a lot of unforced errors throughout the week on, but just doesn't seem to be really able to do much there. Matt Reid just looks too strong a player at the moment.
Yeah, I think Reid's certainly getting Mitchell on the part of the court that he wants him on. Seems to be able to work that
15
backhand.
love.
Not a lot Ben seems to be able to do to get out of that corner.
No, Ben's not been really able to come to the net at all throughout the course of this game, where he does tend to like to mix it up a little bit by doing that, whereas I think we've only seen him be able to come in for the 1 point.
Once he gets Reid moving around, he can certainly get the
30
points.
love. Forty love.
Easier game for Mitchell here now.
Game. Mitchell.
There we go, great ace to finish that game off. So Rob,
Mitchell leads 5 games to 4.
how have you found sponsoring the tournament here so far? The courts are in absolutely pristine condition, and being able to get live stream certainly helped the William Loud Brown there.
There's no doubt about that, Josh. Look, the courts are fantastic. I mean, I know Leon and the boys here have a great group of volunteers who do everything they can to make this tournament everything they can. And it's good to see a few people from Bendigo coming out to watch on a beautiful day. Encourage anyone in Bendigo who's listening to come down. There's some great tennis still to come with Casey Delacqua and is it Isabella Holland?
Yeah, Isabella Holland in the ladies' final there. Should be an absolutely fantastic
one
game.
I really look forward to, yeah.
Well, Isabella's certainly worked into form throughout the course of this tournament. Probably started off a little bit slow in her first match there, but Casey obviously been the standout. Although earlier on today we saw her in the semi-finals was a little bit off her boil for the first time.
She had a bit of a battle and against the big hitting Japanese.
Love 15.
Matt Reid obviously showing a little bit of frustration there for the first time today. Thought it was out long, that return by Ben Mitchell.
15 all.
What a way to respond. Yeah. And I suppose that's probably key here today for Matt Reid, is keeping that composure. We've seen throughout various times he can lose it a little bit, and it can lead to a few easy break opportunities for his opponent.
Yeah, it certainly appeared that Ben was
30, 15.
more frustrated early on, but might be one or two signs that he's starting to get his composure back again.
40, 15.
Well, there's not much you can do about serves like that. For Ben Mitchell had absolutely no chance of returning that one. Terrific
Both serving
serving.
very well, actually.
Mm.
Great finish from both players.
Yeah. Reid,
Strong finish to that game there by Matt Reid.
5 games all.
Certainly seeing a lot more of Matt just dropping the ball short, putting a slower ball in and forcing Ben to overhit one or two. So
Yeah, mixing it up a little bit more, whereas we haven't seen that really at all throughout the course of this tournament by Matt Reid. Also today, I think his serving percentage for the first serves would be well and truly in the high 70s.
$15 love.
Whereas earlier on in the first couple of round matches, his serving percentage, I think in the first game would have been lucky to be 50% and maybe got it up to roughly around probably the low 60s.
he's pulling out the big shots for the final, that's for sure.
Well, that
15 all.
forehand of his is certainly his big powerful weapon, getting a lot of time to open up the back of his shoulders and place it where exactly he wants it to be.
He would have been disappointed to lose that after the
30, 15.
last couple of volleys.
Well, the thing is with Ben Mitchell, I think he's probably playing a little bit defensively at this stage, just working out Matt Reid's propensity to sort of hit a lot of unforced errors. They're just not coming at the moment, but it's still his on serve here in this first set.
Exactly right, yeah.
$40, 15. Game.
There we
Mitchell.
go.
Certainly once Ben gets out of that backhand corner, he's
Mitchell leads 6 games to 5.
more fluent player on the court there.
Well, I mean, the thing is now he's got this chance here to go out all out in this game here. Try to break Matt
New
Reid's
balls,
serve
please.
and get that first set. Nothing to lose here. Obviously, all that's going to happen is go to a tiebreaker. So
That's right.
hopefully Ben Mitchell can come out there a little bit more aggressive than what we've seen previously. And preparations for the courts at the Australian Open, I'm sure will be taking place at the moment. How's that all coming along?
Yeah, going very well, Josh. We've finished all the outdoor courts and really just high sense and rod labour to go, which will be later in the year. So yeah, all on course, ready for a big one.
Time. $15 love. Full. $15 all.
That's better play there by Ben Mitchell, coming forward,
15-30.
taking that second serve, hitting it back long deep, not allowing Matt Reid to work himself into a commanding position and have a chance to use that big, powerful forehand.
No, that's right. Once he's allowed into the court, it's a different game, isn't it?
Full.
Matt just throwing in a few faults here now.
Out. 30 all.
Yeah, well, it's certainly a time to put some pressure on here from Ben Mitchell. I've seen throughout various stages of this tournament, Matt Reid can lose his break of serve with just silly errors. So Ben's just got to try to keep these points going as long as possible and allow that pressure to build on Matt Reid.
$40-30.
Hard to put pressure on serves like that.
No.
Full. Thank you. Pick up the ball, please. Juice.
Great shot there by Ben Mitchell, really opening himself up with an opportunity here, getting it back to Juice.
Reid not very happy with that call either. So.
And so those are the things which have thrown Matt Reid throughout the course of this week, especially against Dane Papagio, actually having a court violation at one stage, smashing the ball into one of the advertiser hoardings. So
I hope not ours, Josh.
Full.
Just tightening up on the serve a little.
Out. Advantage Reid. Full. Game. Reid.
there we go, we're now off into a tiebreak.
6 games all. Tiebreak.
Great credit to the way they play this game, Josh. You've got to remember these guys have been on the road for quite a few weeks now, playing the Pro Tour at all sorts of different locations, from Cairns to Alice Springs to
Esperance over in WA as well.
Traralgon, Kalgoorlie. It's a tough way to earn a
1-0. Mitchell. One all. Full. Out. 2-1. Reid.
Ben actually appearing to have more trouble with the kicking second serve than he does with the first. At the moment, Josh, he can't seem to get it down from that shoulder height.
Be interested to see if Matt Reid picks up on that and starts surfing them out a little bit wider than what he has done previously with his first serve.
That's just a great point of tennis.
3-1. Reid.
Both players have been playing extremely well so far throughout the course of this tiebreaker. Actually getting some really good long rallies here throughout the course of it.
At 3-2. Reid.
Good serve there by Ben Mitchell to ensure that he doesn't go a second mini break down here in this tiebreaker in the first set.
Fault. 3-all.
Need to pay a big compliment to the ball boys and girls here today, Josh. They're doing a fantastic job and have done throughout the week.
Yeah, they've been absolutely fantastic, and so have the umpires, despite what a couple of the players might have thought at various stages. But certainly been an excellent effort by all the people involved here for the William Loud Bendigo International for 2011.
Four 3. Reid.
Terrific serve there by Matt Reid.
Cracking shot. Just feel the pressure starting to
5-3.
build on both players
Reid.
here, Josh.
Out. 5-4. Reid.
Both serving relatively well, really, Josh, aren't they?
Certainly are, especially Ben Mitchell's been fairly consistent throughout the course of this tournament. Obviously always having a reliable serve, but with Matt Reid's extra power it can be a little bit wayward at times, especially at crucial moments, but so far today it's been absolutely fantastic for him.
Out. 5-all.
There we go, that's what we can sort of see with Matt Reid there. Sometimes he just gets a little over anxious and tries to go for the winner straight away rather than allowing the rally to develop and work himself into a good position to hit that winner.
6. 5.
Can follow up with a
Reid.
fairly decent serve.
I suppose that's been the real difference with Matt Reid here today, that at times throughout the week he hasn't been able to follow those up and allow opponents to capitalise on some of those opportunities which he presents, but he's not letting Ben Mitchell get away with anything at all today.
Not really letting him get on top at all, is he? Keeping the pressure right on.
Out. 6-all.
Both had a fair battle on their way through to the final, Josh.
Yeah,
Matt Reid having to finish off Sam Goth this morning would not have been easy.
especially that tough first tie-break set.
Seven six. Reid.
You just don't want an error like that at this part of the game, do you?
No, it brings up set point here for Matt Reid as well on serve.
That serve, yeah.
Faults.
Matt Reid thought he had it there, but the umpire calling a fault. Not too happy with the call, but let's see how he regains the composure here.
Game.
Seem to be in two minds.
First set's Reid. 7 games to 6.
Yeah, Matt Reid taking the first set there. Ben Mitchell, unfortunately, just sort of lost his thinking, I think, halfway through placing that shot and just ended up hitting it too long.
Seemed to have 3 shots in mind.
Time. Second set, Reid to serve. Fault. Love 15. Net for serve. Love 30.
No doubt when they get into the longer rallies that Ben Mitchell has the advantage. He seems to be able to work things around a little better.
Fifteen 30.
Matt Reid now prepared to throw in a few kickers on the first serve, making Ben Mitchell reach a bit above his shoulder height. He seems to have trouble bringing them down.
30 all. Out. 40-30.
Mitchell would dearly love to get a break in early on in this set,
Yes.
gain the ascendancy right away.
Certainly would.
That's game read.
Matt Reid did
First game, second set.
really well there to close off that. Bit of an opportunity for Ben Mitchell at love 30. Having to come back strongly here and taking out that first game of the second set.
Yeah, there's no doubt Ben was trying to put a bit of pressure on and trying to take the early ascendancy and get things going in his way.
I think Ben's realised that he's probably going to be a little bit more aggressive on his shots here and work Matt Reid into positions where he won't be comfortable and start to force some of those errors which are a part of Matt Reid's game, sort of the trade-off there for the power that he does have in those shots.
That's right, if you can get him moving, making mistakes, he's certainly going to gain traction.
At 15 love. At 30 love.
And there we go, sort of Matt Reid was a little off balance with that first backhand there by Ben Mitchell, allowing Bendigo a bit of time there to force Matt Reid to hit that last shot on the run.
Just noticed Ben Mitchell starting to
40 love.
mix up the pace of his shots a bit, which seems to be drawing the odd error from Reid too.
Net for serve. Game. Mitchell.
There we go, strong service game there by Ben Mitchell, winning it to love.
One game more.
He really needed that to boost his confidence a bit. He's coming out a lot better, a lot more focused and driven here in this second set.
No doubt, Josh. I think if Ben gives him any, if Matt gives him any opening, he'll grab it now. That's a beautiful backhand.
Terrific shot.
Love 15. At
Mitchell really showing his
love 30.
really showing his preparedness to grind out a point now. Not so. He's got Matt trying to hit the winners off every shot. It could come undone.
Yeah, it's probably the way to play Matt Reid a lot of the time.
15-30.
Especially if you can sort of get Matt Reid moving around a lot of the court as well and not allowing him to have that time. When he firmly sets his feet before lining up to play that shot, that's when he's really able to get that power right in behind, and it's very hard to return a winner like that most of the time.
Thirty all. Fault.
Just see Ben Mitchell a bit more willing to come into the net
30,
now, put a
40.
bit of pressure on, drawing the odd error.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the strengths of Ben Mitchell's game, and he has not been able to do that at all throughout this match here. Opportunity here with a break point against Matt Reid.
Great point.
Terrific rally once again by both these
Juice.
players.
Yeah, Ben will probably regret that one. He had his opportunity there.
Advantage Reed.
Yeah, that's certainly one area of the game that Ben's going to be working very hard on as he comes through these Pro Tour events up onto sort of more mainstream ATP Tour events, is the ability to pick when and where to be aggressive during a point.
Well played.
Game Reed.
Well played. He was under a bit of pressure and he took the
Reed
chance
leads
come up.
2-1.
Yeah, certainly hasn't shown any signs of cracking today, Matt Reed, when that pressure's been on, which is great for him. Obviously another young up-and-coming Australian player, certainly has a lot of the tools to be a player who might make it in the top 100, would just be refining them and cutting down those unforced errors is probably Matt's biggest challenge at the moment in his game.
Probably every tennis player's biggest challenge, to be honest.
Yeah, right. I think maybe Nadal, Federer and Djokovic are about the only three which have almost perfected it so far.
Probably right, yeah.
Although even Novak Djokovic had a bit of an upset the other day against
shocker,
Darko
didn't he?
Tipsaric.
Yeah.
I saw that game and thought, what on earth was Djokovic doing? Maybe he'd already put the racket away for the season and just wanted to go home. You didn't have to play those extra couple of round robins.
He has been known to play it his way.
Time. $15.
As you say, Ben trying to get a winner off a pretty good serve. It's a hard way to go. Sorry, Matt.
Important game here for
15
Ben Mitchell
all.
as well. Obviously having the chance in the last to break Matt Reed's serve. We've seen throughout the course of the week a lot of players, when they have that opportunity and miss it, they do struggle to gain their composure in the next game and can actually lose their own serve. Vital that Ben Mitchell doesn't do this year.
Yeah, I think he's had Matt at love 30 on the last two of Matt's service games. So. Probably being a bit too cute.
30-15.
Yeah, I don't think the slice backhand's one of Matt Reed's strengths. I think he's tried to play it maybe 3 or 4 times today, and I don't think he's actually made it back over the net so far. But good to see that he's trying to develop a few more shots that array. He does need something, as these players are going
40-15.
Terrific serve there by Ben Mitchell.
Fantastic. That was great.
Important game here, and he's playing it very well.
I think Ben had
40-30.
Ben had loved to win here today. If for nothing else, Joss, and he was a
Runner-up
runner-up last year to Sam Groth, and he'd sure he'd dearly love to come at it.
Yeah, he does enjoy playing in Bendigo, Ben Mitchell.
Game.
Another great serve.
Mitchell.
I think he's put on a bit of height and a bit of bulk too since then, so a bit
2
stronger.
games all.
It was probably problem he had with Groth last year was he was basically overpowered by a bigger man.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sam's obviously certainly one of the bigger hitters on the tour.
No doubt about that.
There was a few serves there yesterday in his quarter-final match, which we think would have registered well over the 200k mark.
$15.
Lovely serve. That second serve really has been in all sorts of trouble at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just to be able to get that extra bounce and kick on that one there, I think Ben's probably got a little bit of a weakness hitting above the shoulders. Probably that extra height, something that he's gained this year. Just having to adjust those shots. They're probably maybe not quite natural just yet. So it's certainly an advantage for Matt.
$30.
Just noticed Matt coming up to the net a few times now. Just just starting to creep forward and try and put the pressure on.
Out.
Great tennis.
Great
Both players doing some brilliant shots there.
30-15.
Probably shows that Ben Mitchell as well, just every time he rushes to get that extra ball in, it does allow the pressure to build on Matt Reid, forcing the error there. Probably a few times Matt Reid thought he would have had that point in the bag, but Ben's just been able to get it back over the net, leading to an unforced error.
Out.
Can fire up with a fairly decent serve though.
40-15.
Well, he's done that every time today, basically, that Ben Mitchell's come out and won a shot and forced the unforced error there from Matt Reid, but he's following up with these great serves, probably his best serving performance throughout the week.
Game. Reid. Reid leads 3-2.
There we go, Matt Reid taking that one there, taking 3-2 lead. Looking very good at the moment, very composed. It looks very driven, probably the first time that we're seeing Matt Reid so focused on the court. Usually has a little bit of chat, talks to himself throughout the match, but we've seen none of that today, just purely focused on the tennis.
Time.
No doubt Ben Mitchell's been making the effort to gain the ascendancy, but he just can't seem to, as you say, every time he gets something, Matt's able to answer him at the moment.
Love.
Very important game coming up here for both players. Matt Reid just looking to really push back against Ben Mitchell.
At 30, Love.
Not too many signs of nerves from Ben with that shot though.
Nah, just a consummate professional air about him that he's just able to take everything in his stride, just build on it and slowly build himself up throughout the course of a match to be able to take the opportunities when they arise.
Fault. 30-15.
Just as we say that.
I suppose at least that was at 30 love up rather than at a more crucial time.
Net. First serve. Out.
Fairly hot and humid day.
40-15.
Fairly hot and humid day here in Bendigo. We might just see both players start to wane a little towards the latter parts of this set.
Yeah, Ben Mitchell not happy with other calls in the earlier point there, but
Having said that, he got the point.
I was going to say it's surprising that he actually sort of complains. When you win the point, you usually don't see that happen.
Game. Mitchell.
There we go. Good strong service game there from Ben Mitchell.
3 all. Fault. Out.
Mitchell will be desperate to try and find a little chink here.
Love 15.
Yeah, well, I think you've got to keep going to that backhand of Matt Reid as much as possible and come just slightly into the baseline and keep those deep returns going, not allowing Matt the full range to be able to
15 all.
to be able to get the full power in those strokes. But with serves like that, it's very hard for Ben to be able to do anything.
30, 15.
Probably just summed up Ben Mitchell's day a little bit today. Just those little things not really going quite his way so far, and Matt Reid just having all the luck in this match.
Yeah, he certainly seems a little frustrated. That's what he would have liked to do last point.
30 all.
Generally the time Ben puts in the big one though, isn't it? Matt puts in the big one.
There we go, once
40,
again.
30.
Just doesn't want to allow Ben Mitchell to even have
Just
look
choking
again.
him down, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Ben Mitchell's only had one break point for the whole match.
Mm.
Out. Game. Reid.
There we go, Matt Reid taking a 4-3 lead.
Reid leads 4 games to 3.
I think the hard thing is for Ben Mitchell, if you had have said that how many backhand shots that Matt Reid was going to play throughout the course of the game at this point, if you had told Ben Mitchell that before it started, I'm sure he would have taken it and thought that he would have probably had a
Fair
commanding
chance
lead.
at that, yeah.
Time.
Reid certainly had a great part to the final though, Josh. Good form. He's beaten Luke Saville, who's no mug, and then come up to knock off Sam Grath. Two big parts of this tournament.
Yeah, well, Luke Saville looked fairly impressive earlier throughout the week there. Certainly showing some of that promising junior action, turning it onto this pro tour.
15 love.
Good first up serve there by Ben Mitchell, out kicking wide. Needs to really be focused in this game, a danger game looming.
Absolutely massive game, this one. Just let Reid get forward into the court there.
15 all.
Especially allowing those big forehand winners there. That's the last thing you want to do is set Matt Reid up one of those.
Oh, once he can step into the court, it's on.
Well,
Ben serving has been right down in this last game so far as well.
Tried to attack.
Yeah, tried to
Just
get
wasn't there.
15, 30.
It was almost like he'd predetermined that he was going in at the net no matter what there. Maybe whether or not he should have waited for maybe another ball to come over, let that extra little bit of a rally in there to get himself in a better position.
Fault.
It's another fault on the first serve. Just signs he's tightening up a little.
30 all.
Matt Reid would be devastated with that there. Real opportunity for him to hit that winner, but just hitting it too long.
Just overcooked it.
Out 40,
That's a better
30.
first serve.
Matt Reid will be kicking himself. Had a few opportunities here, but looks like Ben Mitchell put himself in a good position to hold serve with 1 point to go.
Game. Mitchell.
There we go. Ben Mitchell's got that one there.
4 games all.
No reaction from Matt Reid to the serve. It was interesting call.
He had a glare.
Yes.
That's a better bit of tennis.
Right.
That's terrific.
Love 15.
Key difference there is with Ben Mitchell. With his first shot, he was able to put Matt Reid on the back foot before moving into net.
That's right.
Last time they were both on a fairly even keel, and he just still went in anyway, allowing Matt Reid to blast it straight at him.
Oh, what a lovely
There we
volley.
go. Ben Mitchell's looking very fired up at the moment.
Well, he knows,
Love 30.
knows where it's at.
Love 30 now. He has been in this position a couple of times before. It hasn't been able to capitalise, but it looks like he's going all out in this game to try to get that vital break of serve.
Well,
Second serve chance here as well.
out.
Great bit of scurry there from Mitchell, but just overhit it.
15-30.
Just seeing a little sign of frustration on Matt Reid's face at the moment. Not comfortable.
Certainly isn't. It's been a characteristic of his throughout this tournament. He's very easy to sort of upset his balance here, Matt
Get off the
Reid.
game. Fantastic reach.
Terrific.
Great run from Ben Mitchell, but he just couldn't get
30.
back into an aggressive enough spot.
It's very important, though, for Ben Mitchell to realise it's at a drop of a hat almost Matt Reid can turn into another player, so never should discount himself throughout the course of this game.
$30-40.
Here's Mitchell's second break opportunity here for the match. Didn't get the first one. So let's see if Matt Reid can use one of these big powerful serves which he's been able to step up and do throughout the course of the match so far.
Great
There we
serve.
go.
Yeah. Mitchell's been
Juice.
returning quite well, but those big ones, they're hard to get hold of.
And with the consistency that Matt Reid's been able to pull them out today, I think even he'd be a little bit astonished that every single time that there's a big moment, he's been able to pull off a massive serve.
Out.
Certainly Mitchell's court coverage.
Advantage, Mitchell.
Mitchell's court coverage at the moment is superior. He's doing a lot of work though, so it's a high energy game.
Out.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Mitchell.
Crucial point, that one. Both players expressing their emotions on that one.
Yeah. Very uncharacteristic from Ben Mitchell as well. He's usually been a very quiet
Very
player.
quiet fella.
And doesn't really sort of get too loud. All of a sudden we're actually
Mitchell leads 5-4.
here during the Sam Groth, his quarterfinal match, and all of a sudden we heard a big yell coming out from show court 6, and we actually said on air that we thought it must have been Ruben Statham having got in the game there against Ben Mitchell. We knew it had gone to sort of very late in the third set, but it was actually Ben that we could hear from all the way over here, and I think Leon, who was commentating at the time, almost fell over when he heard that it was Ben.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is a little bit of frustration from Ben that's been building. The pressure's been building. It's been right on him the whole game, and he's seen opportunities and just missed out on them, and to finally have grasped one, and that's the first break of serve for the whole game. That's a really crucial point. Could push this into the third set.
Time.
It's really in Ben's hands what he's going to do here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's got to make sure that he holds this now and finishes off this second set. Then we're all back to square, and he can go from there.
Yeah, he's certainly served under pressure quite well for the last few games of this set, but we'll see how he goes now.
Fault.
Toying with the sidelines there, Josh. He might,
Yeah.
that
15
could well have come unstuck.
Well, it could have. I don't know whether he was toying with them or just wanted to make sure 100% that ball was going in with Matt Reid
Went
in
a
the
bit
far
closer to
deep
the,
corner.
went a bit closer to the sideline than I would have liked.
A terrific
Return there. That was a top serve.
15 all. Ben just expressing the well-held player opinion of umpires, Josh. 15-30.
A big point there.
All.
I reckon both players are a bit tentative there, Josh, not wanting to make the mistake. It's a crucial time right now.
Certainly was just maybe waiting for the other to make the error rather than hit the winner themselves. They don't want to have that pressure.
That's right. No, that was a very tentative sort of point the whole way through.
That's
Just notice,
40-30.
just notice, even though he's holding serve, Ben's struggled a bit on the first serve. In the last 3 or 4 games, he's not been able to quite get that length right.
Well, certainly he seems to be trying to push harder in that first serve compared to the first set.
Fault.
Just pushing Matt Reid on that back foot as early as possible.
That's a great point of tennis.
Second set, Mitchell. 6 games to 4, 1 set all.
Again, Ben having that ability just to put the foot down when he really needs to. He couldn't find it in the first set, but that's twice now that he's been able to dig himself and get it going. So we go to the third, Josh.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been a great final here.
Very, very difficult to say who's got the ascendancy here. You'd probably give it to Ben on the basis of the second set, but gee, it's top-level tennis.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the thing's been that Ben's been really trying to get that ascendancy the whole game, but Matt Reid really hasn't allowed him to have it. And I mean, that's the thing. With Matt Reid's ability to hit those big winners at big times that we've seen throughout the course of the day, I think it's going to be a tight contest here in the third.
It's become more of a grafting exercise now where they've just got to, I think Ben's realised he's just got to dig in and play the shots and keep the pressure on, and ultimately in the longer rallies he'll win them.
And that's the key for Ben, just being able to work through these points and know when to take those opportunities there, when to push Matt on the back foot and allow him to have the time to make an unforced error, and making sure those balls don't go too short so he comes in with that top-hitting, hard-hitting forehand for the winner.
Yep. You can get on top of that first serve again, it'll be interesting.
Time.
Back here in the third set of the
Final set. REID to serve.
2011 William Layard Bendigo International. Matt Reid to serve.
At 15 love. Love.
Strong opening here from Matt Reid. Obviously doesn't want to allow Ben Mitchell any momentum going on from capturing that second set.
Out!
40 love.
Just a brilliant running forehand, isn't it?
40-15.
Certainly got a lot of tools there, Ben Mitchell, to work and build upon to become a top line player. Strength's probably one of the areas that he's going to have to be an area of improvement. We're playing the likes of Sam Groff, Matt Reid, these guys here. That can only
New
be
balls,
great for him.
please. First game, final set.
No doubt about that. Just saying off air, Josh, what a mouth-watering women's final we've got coming up with Casey Delacqua and Isabella Holland. It's just, it's as good as you'd see in regional tennis anywhere in the country.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Isabella Holland started off a little bit slow, but certainly building throughout the course of the week, improving her form. Her serve was probably a little bit hard for her in that windy Tuesday condition. But look, the other thing is, though, Casey has been in absolutely amazing form throughout the course, only dropping 2 games in her first 2 matches. But she was pushed in the semi-final here earlier today against Mia Nguchi in the Japanese big hitting
Nearly all
player.
came unstuck, didn't it?
Yes, certainly did. And she just looked a little off the boil, so interested to see how she bounces back in this next match.
Having said that, you only have to win.
Terrific shot there. Great rally though by both players. Really,
Love 15.
really very high quality standard of tennis here. So for anyone out there in Bendigo, make sure you come down, be able to catch some of this action in the final 3rd set.
Love 30.
Conditioning is going to play a part here too, Josh, because it's a fairly warm, humid day. It's we might see one or the other player tire towards the end of this set.
Yeah, well, Ben Mitchell's had a bit of a
Oh,
mixed bag, as in that terms. Obviously a tough 3-setter first up, then the Adam Feeney retirement before another tough 3-setter.
right. Love 40.
So whether or not all that match is going to play a little bit of a difference, whether he might tire a little bit quicker than Matt Reid. Matt Reid's points, obviously, throughout the courses of his matches would be a lot shorter as well due to the big hitting nature of how he's played.
Yeah, massive opportunity for Reid here, though.
Game Reid.
Well constructed point there.
Reid leads 2 games to love.
So there's an early break in the 3rd set.
Yeah, well, we've only seen the one so far, and Ben Mitchell was ready to go on and win that set there, so it could be a huge lead here for Matt Reid in this 3rd and deciding set. Very important that he holds this next service game and solidifies the break. Keeps that momentum going.
Love 15.
Not a good start, double fault there.
No, it's not ideal.
Haven't seen too many of those today by Matt Reid compared to his previous matches.
Probably only about the 3rd or 4th for the game, isn't it, for Matt?
Well placed there by Matt Reid.
I noticed Ben not getting sucked into the
15 all.
the high power hit out. He's just returning them at his own pace and letting Matt make the pace off them.
Full.
Probably what Benny got sucked into a little bit in that first set, especially during the opening games. Might have thought he was able to go with Matt Reid, but obviously Matt Reid, that super strong forehand, was just able to win a lot of those points.
15-30.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Matt's certainly the more powerful of the players, but Ben has other weapons that he can use there.
Yeah, especially putting on that backhand there, Matt Reid. So there was a couple of times there where the ball just made over the top of the net.
15-40.
Oh, this is a joke. It's not even close.
Here we go.
You know how wide it is. We both know how wide it is. It's disgraceful. She's not, obviously she's having some problems. It's this far wide. This is a joke. Come on, Matt. There's no clear ball mark. Boring. How much further wide did that have to get? It was a bit more wide than that.
Not sure Matt's doing his cause any good here, Josh.
Yeah, neither am I.
Unless he thinks it works himself up.
Although, to be honest, the umpire's probably not giving a straight out.
Wasn't the clearest answer you
No.
could wish for.
Well, it's probably a credit to him explaining some things and allowing Matt to be able to regain his composure. However, I'm not sure if I was in the chair, I'd be so patient with him.
Really important here for Ben just to keep his head down and think about the game rather than worrying about what's going on.
If he's still going, he's probably risking a violation if he keeps pushing it too far.
I've not seen many umpires change their mind, have you, Josh?
No, never. Although he
Tried
did
many times in my early footballing days, I just won't budge.
Although the umpire did admit that it might have actually been wide at one stage.
Well, I think what he was trying to say was it was too close to call from his point of view, but Matt interpreting that as it was out. So now let's see if he can settle down.
One of those big aces now would be very handy.
$30-40.
So about to say I've been super impressed with Ben's return of serve. He's really soaked up a lot of that pressure, but probably the follow-up shot in that rally wasn't all that flash.
No, but he's also able to take the pace back off there against Matt, getting it in deep as well on those returns, which is the key for Ben here to not be overpowered.
Matt taking a lot of time wandering back and forth around the court there.
Come on!
It's a great
Juice.
serve.
There we go, 2 big points. Maybe that little tirade was more a chance for him to regain his composure rather than actually hoping to achieve anything.
I think Ben just having a word to the umpire that perhaps he gave Matt a bit too much time there.
Out. Advantage REID. Game, REID.
Reid really coming out with some big points and just making a little point about that.
REID leads 3 games to love.
I'm sure he's endearing himself to the umpires with actions like putting the ball down where he thinks it landed.
I mean, that's the thing. It could end up backfiring on Matt, especially if he's still going to... Ben obviously not very happy there with the fact that Matt Reid obviously was allowed to go on for a long, long time there.
I think Ben probably some justification being a bit unhappy about it.
Well, to be honest, it's probably one of the longest I've ever seen, apart from when John McEnroe back in the day used to go on his little rants, and he obviously copped a fair few penalties for those at various stages, so fully justified there from Ben Mitchell.
Mind you, Ben probably not doing his cause any good by going on either. It's I've never seen anyone win against the umpire.
No, well, I mean, that's the thing. That at least probably Ben's doing a little bit more of a Roger Federer styled gentlemanly fashion. Yeah.
Using the serve.
I think it's one of Federer's greatest little tricks of the trade. They're always able to politely argue his point and not get the umpire outside. I think Ben's obviously learned a lot about his game from watching Roger Federer play growing up.
So we can feel a fair bit of heat coming into this now, Josh. Both players on edge.
Yeah.
She's starting to tense right up now.
big game here for Ben. I'd still look at the
Love 15.
Ben's face, but the thing is, you just worried he might be a little over anxious and trying to hit those winners too early, like that last shot there.
Just one or two.
15 all.
Too many unforced errors just at the moment, but we'll see if he can pull it together.
Oh.
15-30.
Just no luck for Ben at the moment.
There's absolutely everything which can go against him just seems to be going against him.
Just needs to regroup a little and get his composure back, get back on with the game.
30 all.
Yeah, especially because Matt can be so vulnerable to going off in his own little tangent there at times and lose his composure.
Yeah.
Ben can just stay in here, put the pressure on.
Yeah, Matt just strikes me.
30-40.
Matt strikes me as a confidence player, and the more
Yep.
you let him get on, the more you give him his head, the more he goes. Beautiful shot.
Great shot there.
That's a great recovery.
Deuce.
Just
Very
needs to
big
keep
point.
his head and pull out a few more like that. He'll be back in the game.
There we go.
Advantage, Mitchell.
Have a few female admirers in the crowd too.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. I think it's become a bit of a crowd favourite here over the course of the week, Ben Mitchell.
That's game.
That's what he's
Mitchell.
looking for. He just wants to draw that unforced error from Matt Reid. As you say,
Reid leads 3 games to 1.
he's capable of anything and usually produces both.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Doesn't come in the net very often.
15
Matt
more.
Reid, but certainly plays well that stroke when he does. But, well, I mean, the small bounce there didn't do Ben Mitchell's any favour either.
Just serving out of his backside.
30 love.
And as good as Mitchell is at returning, he's just under pressure every time.
Yeah. Such a high first serve percentage for Matt Reid compared to other matches that he's played. Terrific rally there by both players.
Just some great depth from
30-15.
Noticing there, just stepping into the court while Matt's trying to defend. Once he gets inside that court, he can really dictate play from there.
Fault.
Great shot there by Matt Reid. Certainly able to
40,
take
15.
advantage of that short ball there. I mean, if Ben's going to do that, he's got to put it almost directly on the line to not allow Matt Reid.
That's right. You can't let him step in.
Great return to serve.
Yeah.
40, 30.
Just
It's
open up
really
that
one of his
forehand.
strengths, but he just can't seem to get on top.
I think Matt Reid's serving today has been absolutely outstanding by his standards.
Yeah. Reid.
Well constructed.
Reid
ball
leads
behind the big
4
serve.
games to 1.
It's just proving a bit difficult for Mitchell at the moment. Ben Reid leading 4 games 1 in the 3rd set. He needs to sit down and think about what he can do about this.
Yeah, that's the thing for Ben. He's just got to remember though, keep in there, keep at it. We obviously saw before, Matt Reid certainly has that propensity to just go absolutely mad at times. Maybe hopefully try to hit one which is just a tad long and go, let the call go his favour, and it might tip him over the edge if it comes to it.
Time.
I think we said it a few times today, but this is a huge service game for Ben. He's really got to nail this one and then try and get the break back very urgently. We're running deep into the 3rd set.
Low 15.
Yeah, not a great start there by Ben. The only thing I worry about is with his game, sometimes he looks to get on that front foot just a tad early. The ball might be going a little bit long to be able to hit that
Nets for serve.
forehand winner at times, but he just maybe has that predetermination. He wants to play that shot and he's going to hit it no matter what. That'll
Tends to
just
make
come
up
with
his mind
experience.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Yep. It's 2 unforced errors and
Low
2 points.
30.
That one there was there to be hit actually, but just yeah, Ben Reid just maybe losing his concentration a little bit off sort of balance, just wondering how he's going to be able to turn this around at the moment.
Yep.
15, 30.
Great
Reid-
serve come back.
Reid's really come out this set with a mission. He's really having a go at everything, and Mitchell able to throw in 2 good serves there though.
2 great serves.
30 all.
Come on, Matt. Come on, Ben.
Crowd just evening things up there.
Got a very nasty
30,
bounce
40.
on that Ben did then. Really couldn't do much with it.
A very big hitting there by Matt Reid, especially when he's able to leap up and almost hit over the top of the ball, put it on just that angle which just makes it very hard for the ball to skid along. Just the court absorbs a lot of that impact.
Out.
You just feel the intensity building now
Juice.
as Matt overhits that one.
Yeah, he certainly saw it there for the taking, but just was not able to capitalise, hitting it far too long.
Just one of those really bad unforced errors there.
Advantage Reid.
Crucial time as well for Ben Mitchell. Last thing he wants to do is go down 2 breaks.
fantastic point, that one.
That was absolutely terrific rally there. Absolute credit to both players, not giving up on a single moment.
Juice.
Point.
You see, Reed's really able to keep the pressure up even from 2 or 3 metres behind the baseline. He's such a big hitter of the ball that he can keep the pressure right on, and that's what he's doing.
We're out.
I think Ben might be looking for a breather here somehow, Josh.
Yeah, I think so. Certainly sounded a little puffed out there after that fantastic rally.
I think he might be taking a stroll to the umpire just to draw in a few big ones.
Yeah, well, I think after Matt Reed's little moment before, I think Ben's probably got a little bit of leeway to do this a couple of times.
A little bit of licence.
So I think that he should be able to take advantage of that whenever he likes at the moment.
Showing a little bit of patience there, just slowing the point down.
Advantage. Mitchell.
He's such a big, powerful hitter. I don't think I've seen a slower slice backhand than Matt Reed's, to be honest.
I think that's the third to go into the net, isn't it?
Yeah.
Out.
Just the power there forced him to overcook that return. There.
Juice.
Yeah, I think Ben was a little bit surprised the ball previously was actually called in there with that little glance to the umpire. Probably one of those ones which is a little bit close to call.
Full. Advantage Reed.
Another opportunity here for Matt Reed. Should be hoping to capitalise on Ben, just hitting that one a little too wide. Saw the chance there to hit the cross-court forehand winner, but just couldn't quite pull the stroke off.
Reed just looking the more composed of the two at the moment, to be honest. He's
Pull.
But he still looks like he could explode at any moment.
Game Reed.
That's going to be a crucial moment in the game, I think.
Reed
Josh,
leads 5 games to 1.
Yeah,
by 1 in the third. Mitchell just looks a little bit tired, a little bit feeling the conditions a little bit more than perhaps Matt Reed.
and the luck's just not going Ben Mitchell's way at all. That one hitting the left court and then just bouncing over for a fault on the second serve.
And handing Matt the luxury of serving for the set twice if he wants.
Love 15.
A little bit of nerves might have came into play with that shot there.
Just
Might
pulled
need
up
the
on that a
second
little
one.
bit. That's a beautiful serve. Just a great standard of tennis we're seeing here today.
15
Josh.
all.
I mean, neither player giving an inch. They're having a fight for everything they can get.
Certainly are. It's been absolutely fantastic. Both showing some good form coming into the wildcard playoff for the Australian Open. Terrific power there behind
30-15.
Matt Reed's forehand. It is something absolutely spectacular to see here down at the court.
Yeah, he's got Ben. Even though Ben's getting the ball, he's 3, 4, 5 metres behind the baseline.
That's 40-15.
That brings up 2 championship points here for Matt Reed at the 2011 William Loud Bendigo International. Ben just taking a moment. Maybe a broken string on that last shot there.
Not sure about that either, Josh.
Well,
These players are experts now at buying time, aren't they?
certainly are.
Game 7.
Wow.
Reed.
It's the way to finish it off.
You didn't even need a racket.
4-6.
Yeah, that's right.
fantastic result there by Matt Reid. Good effort once again by Ben Mitchell. Certainly showing a lot of signs that he's got a potential in this game.
He's frustrated. That's the second time he's runner-up. He'll be back next year for sure, Josh.
Yep. And we're going to have a presentation coming up very soon. Thanks for joining us here for the men's final.
I know Ben's gone straight for the mobile phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a men's singles final here at the William Loud Bendigo Tennis International. Can I have another round of applause, please, for our finalists? I'd just like to begin our finals presentation today by welcoming some representatives from our major sponsors of this tournament that have been able to join us today. So Mayor Rod Fyfe from the City of Greater Bendigo, Mr James Reid, Councillor with the City of Greater Bendigo, Damien Drum, who is the member for Northern Victoria, Rod Keogh from WM Loud, and Paul Henschel representing the City of Bendigo, representing the Bendigo Tennis Association. And a special welcome to you guys, and thank you for coming today. And I'd like to call upon the President of the Bendigo Tennis Association, Mr Paul Henschel, to say a few words.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Firstly, just recognising those that have come today, Councillor Fyfe, Mayor of City of Greater Bendigo, Damien Drum, the MP for Northern Victoria, council officers that have been here today, Robert Keogh from William Loud's, Mel Jelleth, Tournament Director, Scott Ray and Carolyn Kramer, of course our fantastic sponsors that I'll mention personally in a minute, and also our BTA Life members that I think most of them have come today. So first of all, I think we can't go anywhere without thanking both Ben and Matt for that match. That was fantastic, and it's the type of tennis, I guess, that we really want to see here, and we've seen for several years, but that match I think was fantastic. So once again, a big round of applause for the two guys. I'd like to thank the people that have made this possible, really, which is firstly William Loud. Robert Keogh's been a fantastic supporter of ours for quite a few years now. Of course, Louds have laid these courts, which are fantastic. And Robert's been a great supporter personally of the Tennis Association, and very much always in attendance everything that we came to. Even managed to score a bottle of wine in the Pro-Am the other night, so he was pretty happy with that, I think. So thanks, Rob, for all your support. Also the City of Greater Bendigo, which again we can't thank enough for the support that they give us to run tennis in Bendigo, the support that they've given us to build this infrastructure and help lay our fantastic new courts. And the state government of Victoria, of course, which have also contributed greatly to the facilities that we have here today. Also to our media partners, Bendigo Advertiser, the Win Television, and a special mention to Power AV and Grant Villiers for the live streaming that they've done. I don't know if anybody's been watching that on the internet, but somebody has, because we've had something like 5,000 hits, so that's been fantastic. So thanks, Grant. Of course, we have a list of fantastic sponsors that have supported this event, many of which are here today, sitting in our VIP tent. So thank you very much for your support financially and in person. And then just finally the volunteers who I think you'd have to acknowledge. Events such as this really can't be put on without the support of the volunteers, the catering team, the ball kids, the courtesy car drivers, groundskeepers, restringing teams, just all of the volunteers across the association who really pull together when we put on an event like this. It does require a lot of people over a lot of time, and it certainly couldn't be done without those team of volunteers. So to everybody that's helped put this together in a voluntary capacity and a paid capacity, I have to say thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Paul. And now to the Member for Northern Victoria and Parliamentary Secretary for Rural and Regional Victoria, Damien Drum.
Thanks, Mel. Well, certainly to Matt, great work, and Ben, just an amazing game. It must be tough to go through that with such sheer brilliance, and we can only have the one winner. But certainly the government is very keen to support this type of event because we are able to showcase both Bendigo as a regional centre where we're able to highlight and showcase events such as this, but also it brings together some of the greatest players that we have in regional Victoria. And you guys will inspire, just like the girls will after, you will inspire the younger people who have got the tennis set in their sights. And your ability to come here and showcase your skills is going to take this sport further and further in advance. So it's with great pleasure that I get the opportunity to come along on behalf of the government and acknowledge people like Rod Fife and the councillors, REID, and all of the other people, to acknowledge Paul Henschel and his team here at Bendigo Tennis, and all of the volunteers. A huge thank you for the work that you have done in relation to the linesmen and the ball boys, and as I say, the restringers, the courtesy car drivers. Everybody has to do their bit to make these types of events come off. But again, Bendigo comes to the fore. We are able to produce these types of events. We are able to bring them through and get them done in a way that very few regional towns across Australia have the ability to do. Thank you to all the supporters that have come along today to watch this outstanding tennis, and I'm sure you will go home and shake your head like I am, just at how hard these boys hit the ball and how quick they are around the courts and how their speed literally dwarfs the court. So it is just an amazing opportunity to see such outstanding skills in our own backyard. The government's delighted to sponsor this event, and hopefully we can do so for many, many years to come. Thank you also to William Loud for your sponsorship, and everybody else who's had a hand in bringing this event to Bendigo. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Damien, and thank you for the Victorian Government's continued support of tennis in Bendigo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with it. Let's present our lovely runners-up trophy and prize money cheques to our finalists here at the William Loud Bendigo Tennis International, Benjamin Mitchell. Ben, I think you picked it early in the week. We held our draw ceremony and you said Reedy was looking like the guy to beat in this tournament. He's got you today, bad luck, but I'm sure you've enjoyed your time in Bendigo.
Yeah, well done, Matt. I guess you had to get me sooner or later. No, Matt's had a really good tournament, and his ranking goes to top 300 now, which was his goal at the start of the year. So well done. I've had a great time here. I had a great time last year. Got the same result, but I think this year was a lot better standard. So I'm really happy with my performance. I did pretty much everything pretty well out there today. The weather was a bit average yesterday, so today it was interesting to play actually 5 sets, and I think I I did all right, and Matt did really well too. I'd like to thank all the fans that came out and supported me. It was really good, and I think it almost got me across the line. And thanks to Mel and the team, and yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben. I've particularly enjoyed watching you play this week. You've had some great three-set matches, and well done. And to our winner of the WM Loud Bendigo Tennis International, Matt REID. Reedy, well done. You did get him. He beat you in the final a few weeks ago over in Esperance. But I've really admired the way you've played your tennis this week. You've kept really level-headed and played some great tennis. So well done. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Mel. First of all, I'd like to say thanks for everyone coming out. It was great all week. The crowd's coming. So it makes our life a bit easier when everyone's coming here to watch us play. And yeah, it was fun. Thanks, Mel and the team, and the live streaming. It was great. It was even fun commentating some of the time. The ball kids, linesmen, you were great. And thanks to my coach, Liv, and mainly thanks, Ben. Thanks for letting me win one. And I'm pretty sure we all know you're going to have a great future, and we'll see you at the Aussie Open pretty soon. Good luck.
Thanks, Matt. And we wish you both well as you head into the Australian Summer of Tennis in the next few months ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just one other thing to do. Each of the sponsors for this tournament were allocated a player, and because Matt REID won the men's singles final, Beck Legal now have 2 tickets to the Australian Open 2012. So I'm not sure if there's a representative here from Beck Legal today. Any Beck Legals? There's obviously not, but we'll make sure they get those tickets. So congratulations to them. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our men's singles presentation, but don't go anywhere. In a very short time, we'll have the women's singles final coming up right here on centre court, with Australia's Casey Delacqua, the number 1 seed, up against the number 3 seed, Queenslander Isabella Holland.